Okay, I gave 7, right? Last lecture. Yeah, we did 7. This one, 8th one. Anyways, it will not affect much because it's a no entry transaction. And then all these 8 entries will be combined in a ledger. So draw up this ledger. All the 8 entries are just posted in this ledger. Okay, so just have a note of it. Okay? Journal entry number 1 purchase, then number 2 purchase return, then 3 and 4 will not come here, it will come in WIP. See, journal entry number 3 and 4. It will go to WIP ledger, not here. Okay. उसके बाद वाला 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, will come here. Raw material issued and raw material issued return. Okay, make a note of this. Okay, noted. Till here, is it clear? Just acknowledge it in the chat box. Is it clear till here? Okay, yeah. Thanks, Monica. Okay. So opening stock, that will be there in the question. That's the opening balance. Thanks, Shubham. Then closing balance will be the balancing figure. See, I've put it in a box. I mean, I've encircled it. So it indicates balancing figure. Okay. And now see what I've written. Okay. Note down this also. If opening and closing balance of raw material is given in the question, then the balancing figure in store's ledger account will be transferred to costing period. Okay. And it is marked as shortage of stock if it is on the debit side, and it is known as excess stock if it is on the credit side. Okay. These concepts you have done in what is it? A chapter called स्टॉक वैल्यूएशन फीफो एंड वेटेड एवरेज. याद है जब आप लोग स्टॉक रजिस्टर बनाते थे तो उसमें ये ट्रांजैक्शंस होते थे, शॉर्टेज ऑफ स्टॉक, एक्सेस स्टॉक. So these are the highlights of this ledger. I will be going slow and in depth with the journal as well as the ledger, because when I will be doing sums, there I'm going to pick up speed, not here. The theory base has to be strong. I will pick up speed when I'm doing sums. I'm telling it in advance. So when I start with sums, you have to be at a pace with me. Clear? with the note, is it clear? Along with the note, is this ledger clear to everyone? Acknowledge it in the chat box. Okay, Haniksha, Ranjana, yeah, thanks. Okay, now let us move on to the next ledger. Next ledger क्या है? ये नहीं, ये तो हम बाद में करेंगे. This we'll do later. Why? Because अभी भी ये सब entries बाकी है ना, तो इसका second effect इसमें आएगा. That is why. So right now, nothing will, we will not prepare this. Later I'll tell you when to do that. Next order is what? Wage ledger control. So right now, be quick to do, okay? Second, wage ledger control account. You have done a chapter called as overheads in your lower semesters. So this is the rule of overheads, pay, charge, and absorption. So from direct wages up to selling and distribution overheads, you are going to follow this rule. So make a note. First, you are going to pay the expense, then charge the expense. Charge is also called as allocation of the expense, and then you will absorb the expense. Absorption is also known as recovery. If you remember a chapter called as reconciliation of cost books and finance books, there you had this word under recovery of depreciation in cost books, overvaluation of stock in finance books, then over recovery of office expenses in cost books like this. Okay, so just relating it with that chapter. Okay, so first let us pay the expense. Yeah. So first pay it. So wages paid. Whether it is direct wages and indirect wages. I'll pay it together because wage ledger control I'm making especially for wages. Whether it is direct or indirect, I'll record it here. Okay, so the journal entry is, what is the journal entry? Wages account debit to cash bank होना चाहिए, right? But under non-integral thing from cost sheet point of view. So my journal entry will be wage ledger control account debit. Instead of cash bank, I will write the word to GLA. Okay. Next, wages charged. Okay. So first I have direct wages, then I have indirect wages. I'm combining the entry. Okay. Wages charged, first I have to debit my direct wages and then indirect wages. So that I'll tell later. Now direct wages means it's a direct cost. So direct cost means अभी तक finished goods में convert नहीं हुआ है आपका raw material. Raw material process में डाल दिया और अभी वो WIP stage में है. So it will go to WIP ledger control account debit. And indirect wages cost sheet में कहाँ record होता है? Under what do you call indirect cost, under factory overheads. So this will be charged to factory overheads ledger control account. Okay, either wage control debit था, either wage control credit होगा. You are balancing the ledger. Clear? Is this journal entry clear? Direct wages and indirect wages. Acknowledge it in the chat box. कॉस्ट शीट याद करो. कॉस्ट शीट में डायरेक्ट वेजेस कहाँ जाता है? ऊपर प्राइम कॉस्ट. इनडायरेक्ट कहाँ जाता है? नीचे, इनडायरेक्ट कॉस्ट अंडर द हेडिंग फैक्ट्री. Thanks, Aniksha, Shubham, and Ranjana. The third journal entry will come out of the ledger. Okay, I'm just making a ledger here. Right here, wage control account. Okay, so post this ledger or journal into ledger, wage control to GLA. So first write here to GLA. This is paid ka entry. Then charge it. It will come here by WIP ledger control account, by factory overheads ledger control account. So this is direct wages charged and this is indirect wages. So this is charge entry or allocation. Right? Then when you close the ledger, you will get recovery entry. Okay? So the balancing figure is recovery. Either here or here. Okay. So if the balancing figure is on this side, then this is called as under recovery or under absorption. And if it is here, it is known as over recovery or over absorption. Okay, and it is charged to cost in P&L. Yeah. So right here, journal entry number 3, or you can write it here also. यहाँ लिख देती हूँ मैं क्योंकि यहाँ से मिल रहा है ना. Journal entry number 3, for the recovery, you can write wages absorbed. Absorption. And you can bifurcate it like this. Okay, and then show it. Under recovery का formula क्या wage control to CPL. So right here, wage ledger control account debit to CPL. And you write down CPL account debit to wage control. Okay, this is over recovery entry, and this is under recovery. Is this clear? Acknowledge it in the chat box. समझ में आया? Pay charge absorption. Pay charge absorption. Remember this. Next, next is what? Direct ledger, direct expense ledger. Okay, hold on next. Same thing, huh? Pay charge absorption, same thing. Third one, direct expense ledger control account. Same rule, pay charge absorption. Okay, let's start the journal entry. First, direct expenses paid. Journal entry, direct expense ledger control account debit to GLA. Then charge it, direct expense charged. अगेन ये भी प्राइम कॉस्ट में आता है अंडर डायरेक्ट कॉस्ट, तो इसका भी चार्जिंग WIP में जाएगा. जब तक गुड्स पूरा बना नहीं है, the charges always to WIP. Same logic, prepare a ledger here. Direct expense ledger control account. First pay it, go to GLA, then charge it, so by WIP, and then close the ledger. When you close the ledger, you get a balance either here or here. Same logic, we'll go to CPM, by CPM. This side is over recovery, this side is under recovery. Okay, then I'm writing the journal entry number 3 here. Okay, direct expense absorption. Divide it. Very same logic. Okay. Direct expense ledger control account to CPL. And CPL account debit, direct expense ledger control. This is over recovery and this is under recovery. Is this also clear? Acknowledge it in the chat box. Okay, fine. Thanks, Ruchi. Next. नेक्स्ट क्या आएगा कॉस्ट शीट के हिसाब से फैक्टरी next order is obviously factory. Yeah, next is factory, then admin, and then selling and distribution. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Factory, overheads, ledger, control, account. I'm not going to write the full form. Same pay, charge, absorption. Start. First, factory overheads paid. Journal entry. Factory overheads, ledger, control, account debit to GLA. Instead of cash, I'll use this word. Next, इसको charge करो. Factory overheads charged. Again, अभी तक goods बना नहीं है. जब तक goods नहीं बनेगा, तब तक charge it to WI. Same logic. Okay, just leave one line. The first line, just leave it. First two lines, leave it. Don't write there anything. GLA, this is paid entry. Here also, credit side also leave first two lines. I'll tell you the reason then. Charge ka entry. This is paid entry. This is charged entry. And then we know balancing figure. Either way, I'll tell you what to balance. Don't write anything like that. Take two lines last time. Come to absorption also right here. Let's absorb. Same magic. So factory overheads, ledger, control account debit to CPL. All these journal entries you should know. And CPL account debit. So factory overheads ledger. Over recovery. So here it is clear. Acknowledge it in the chat box. यहाँ तक समझ में आया? Now see what next. Yes. Okay, fine. Thanks, students. Sometimes what will happen, they will give you factory overheads and admin overheads and selling and distribution overheads in the opening trial balance. Okay, there will be such sums. Okay, where it will be in the opening trial balance. तो क्या होगा? ध्यान से देखो. Okay, to opening balance. This will be given in the trial balance. Obviously, इसका closing by closing balance. Opening balance ये साइड भी हो सकता है. तो फिर इसका closing होगा. Is that clear? So what is this known as? I'm writing a note here. Okay. So students, there is some concept called as period cost and non-period cost. I'll write it here so that you can directly copy them. There is one concept called as period cost and non-period cost. इसका meaning क्या होता है? What does it mean? Now, when I talk about a period cost is a cost which expires in that particular current year or accounting period. And non-period cost does not expire in that particular accounting period. इसका meaning क्या होता है? That it is transferred to the next accounting period. Okay? Period cost means cost which expires during the current year. Okay, and your cost which does not expire in the current year. Okay, मतलब क्या? अभी सपोज मेरे पास एक एक्सपेंस है फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड्स. ठीक है, सो मैंने क्या किया, इसका लेजर क्लोज कर दिया. कैसे क्लोज किया? बैलेंसिंग फिगर को कॉस्टिंग पीएनएल निकाल के. तो जब ट्रायल बैलेंस बनेगा तभी फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड्स इधर दिखेगा ही नहीं. ओके, या और ये वाले केस में क्या होगा? मेक द लेजर. My balancing figures will not go to CPL. It will go as closing balance. So जब trial balance बनेगा, the factory overheads will be reflected either on the debit or the credit side. Okay, so this is called as period cost and non-period cost concept. I start giving your attendance also simultaneously. It is not carried forward in the next year. Again, it is carried forward in the next year. Next, it is transferred to costing P&L account, and here again it is not transferred, not transferred to costing P&L account. What does it mean then? It is not reflected in trial balance. And here again, it is reflected means shown. It is reflected in trial. Okay. So when you're solving sums, you have to be attentive. The factory overhead, selling and distribution, admin overheads is there in the trial balance or not. So if it is there in the trial balance, means it is a non-period cost. And if it is not there in the trial balance, means it's a period cost. So the non-period cost है तो क्या? तो CPL में balance नहीं जाएगा, तो फिर ये entry नहीं आएगा under absorption and over absorption. Okay. See the to balance carried on by balance carried on, we have to write like this. So you cannot have both. There will be an option. Yeah, either of the one will be there. So write it like this. अगर बैलेंस शीट में नहीं है मतलब ट्रायल बैलेंस में नहीं है आपका ओवरहेड्स तो समझ जाना कि इसको एब्जॉर्प्शन करना है इसमें कॉस्टिंग पीएनएल में. So is this clear till here? Publish it in the chat box. Is it clear to everyone till here? Okay. So next it is admin overheads. Same logic, right? Admin overheads. Yeah. Fifth one, admin overheads. Admin overheads, ledger, control, account. Same logic. पहले पे करो. So admin overheads ledger. Admin overheads paid. Admin overheads ledger control account debit. GLA. Then charge it. Admin overheads ledger control. Sorry, admin overheads charged. So now here the finished goods are ready, right? After factory is ready for sale. So this will be charged to finished goods ledger control. bid to admin balance. Okay, and then the same logic. Prepare a admin overheads ledger, write both the entries and take the balancing figure to CPL. Okay, so we have the next lecture also, right? Yeah. So join in with the same meeting ID. Okay, after a gap of how much? 9 o'clock I'll start. Okay, so after a gap of almost 10 minutes, join back.